seminars. There are two ways to know what you've got going on vibrationally. One is by how it feels, and one is by how things are turning out. So in this understanding of how vibration is turning into reality, it just is. Thoughts do turn to things. So if you're hanging around up here feeling really, really good, and you get an impulse to go work someplace, usually everything about that matches how you were feeling for a consistent amount of time before you received the impulses, before the idea of that even began occurring to you. In other words, the way it unfolds felt good all along the way. But let's say you've been having a miserable time, that somebody's just been driving you crazy, and you're trying to figure out what to do about it, and you take action from that point of view, that action will bite you hard.
Yeah.
So you really do want to get here before you act.
And just a question, in the intimate side of relationships, I've had a near miss, and I feel like there's no question but Source knows exactly the right match in that type of a relationship for me.
You might want to call it near and leave out the miss part.
Okay.
Just for the sake of cleaning the energy up just a little bit and writing some statements in order to help you in this moment to harmonize with what you want. You could say things like, I'm having clarifying moments, and I realize that I'm really on the path because look how wonderful this was in all of these ways, and I don't need to be in any kind of hurry. I can give the universe all the time it needs to give me all the clues it needs to give me. Say again. I can give the universe all the time it needs to take me on all the wild goose chases that my resistance allows. I can accept that that's a resistance spot with me. So we can say that even better. I can give the universe all the time it needs to take me down all the trails that I can allow myself to find it taking me to in order to get to where I want to be. And in the process, every time I follow a hunch or an impulse, because I'm in the receptive mode, every time I follow it, I get closer to, oh, hear this, not closer to the end result I think I want, but closer to having released the resistance that is in my way. Can you hear that? Closer to, with every experience you have. That's why you want to bless the rascals, because they help you leave off the resistance pieces, like peeling the layers on an onion, little by little by little, until suddenly, or not so suddenly, you stand resistance free, and then you get an impulse that takes you right to what you're looking for. Did you hear that? It was so good. It was so good we want to say it again so that you can hear it more clearly. So you get the picture? Your inner being knows where you stand in relationship to everything you want. Very clearly knows. But your inner being is not considering the fastest, straightest route to get you from where you are to where you want to be, because there are so many pleasurable twists and turns in the journey to help you to discover and be satisfied by so many other things that are in your vortex. Do you see what we're getting at? So if your intention is not to have your inner being lead you to the love of your life, but if your intention is to feel as happy as you can feel now, and as good as you can feel now, and as good as you can feel now, if you're willing to pay the awful price of happiness with no ulterior motive other than you want to feel good and you want to be in the receptive mode, if your desire, if your dominant desire, if your one and only desire can be, I want to be in the receptive mode, I want to be in the receptive mode, I want to be in the receptive mode, I want to be in the receptive mode so that I can follow the trail and enjoy the trail, enjoy the trail, enjoy the trail. It's lovely that you've put resistance all over your trail. It's lovely. We love that the mountains in this part of the world are there because you have no straight shot roads to anything. You have to wander through hills and valleys and up over and down under. You have to experience the incredible light show that your world is giving to you as you're down in the valley and up on the sunrise. You see what we're getting at? You don't want to go directly from where you are to anything. You want to go on this wonderful journey that little by little you're paving the roads. You're paving the roads so that it's not an unpleasant journey, it's not an arduous journey, it's not an impossible journey, it's not a frustrating journey. It's a beautiful journey, moving around beautiful places and beautiful things and beautiful conversations and beautiful insights, all on the way to the happily ever after that matters right now, and then the next one, and then the next one, and the next one. So you say, inner being, never mind the scenic route, take me directly there. And your inner being says, you're the one who put the mountains on the way. We don't want to flatten out all the mountains. We'll just knowingly, with such wisdom and precision, guide you around all of the resistance, and along the way you will release anything that is in your way.
So you were just talking about going around the mountains, but you're really releasing the mountains as opposed to just they're going to continue to exist and you're just going to figure out how to avoid them.
Some might say that it's resistance, or in this case a mountain, that I'm hungry right now. But we know that when you sit down to eat, that hunger, unless it's extreme, will have been of benefit to you because it sharpens your appreciation of the food that you are eating. Without the contrast, you couldn't even see anything.